Good evening everyone. Welcome to today's CPE session, The Evolving Story of Data Analytics and Generative AI. I am CA Ashish Subedar, CPE Committee Lead, and I am delighted to see you here on this session. Before we begin this event, we would like to thank His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, our sponsor CBFS, and our corporate supporters and corporate members. I request everyone to stand while we play the ICAI motto song.
य सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामंशो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्लं तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
Chairman C.A. Jain for his speech.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening. So today I am so delighted to share the dais with Mr. 𝘕𝘂𝘶𝘕𝘂𝘕𝘂, chairperson of ISACA Masjid chapter, and we have office bearers and members of ISACA. I welcome all of you on behalf of ICAI Masjid chapter. After a long time we are doing a joint event. I think looking at the number, we feel that we should take it forward and look for more joint events with even other chapters also. Actually CBFS have taken the lead. Tomorrow we are going to have a special event which is led by CBFS in association with the old five or six now, right? 6 professional chapters who are under CBFS. It will happen in the same venue. We have requested interest of the members. If anybody is interested, few seats are available. Let us know. We can involve you also. And we are coming to the end of the term of this managing committee. By 30th, we are going to have the AGM. We have forwarded the notice for that. Please attend the AGM. I hope everybody might have made the payments, membership fee payments, so that you will be eligible for attending the AGM. Today is the last day. If anybody not done, pressure is here. You can make the payment. And we have kept some very special gifts for you, for all those who attend the AGM, to share with you. And another important thing is that we are doing a lot of interesting events. As we know, on 26th of May, IPL final is there. So first time we are going to have a live screening of IPL final, not only for the members but also for the families. Today or tomorrow we'll be sending the registration form. So please join, let's enjoy the cricket together. And also happy to share the good news that since ISACA members are also here, we used to do Omani CFO mentoring program. We did 2 programs, one in Muscat, one in Salalah, attended by more than 60-70 Omani youngsters. So we started the program in Sohar. The 3 sessions are over. 4th session we are going to have this Saturday. So we request the members who are interested to be a mentor for the program, contact us. We are happy to share the details. Today's session, Power BI. A lot of people are interested. People are looking for more detailed sessions also. Some discuss with us. We have to take it forward. We have to look into the new things coming up. So we have 2 good speakers from Dubai, Mr. Mahendra and Sanjay. Sanjay is part of the Dubai committee also, is a managing committee member of Dubai chapter. Welcome both of you. I welcome everyone. One word. Enjoy the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Jain ji. May I now request ISACA President Mr. 𝘕𝘂𝘶𝘕𝘂𝘕𝘂 for his welcome speech.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening to you all. I am very happy to stand before you on behalf of ICAI Muscat chapter, and I am very happy to see the hall is almost full. Thank you for inviting us to join this event from ICAI Muscat. Almost maximum of the members here may be part of our chapter, because our chapter is one of the chapter that has professionals from finance, audit, IT, risk, governance, all people are together, even from ACFE chapter. So thank you very much. I would like to thank Jim for approaching us. Thank you, Ravi, past chairman, for inviting us. I would like to thank the eminent speakers, Mr. Sanjay and Mahendra. I think I am correct. Sanjay and Mahendra. Thank you very much. And today's topic is very interesting one, data analytics with generative AI. This is one of the very hot topic now. We just completed some workshops on data analytics, and this is the third one. Most of our members, I hope nearly 50 people have registered. I am sure that most of them would have attended now. So once again, I thank you very much, and I wish all the best to ICAI chapter on behalf of ICAI Muscat board and all our members present here. Thank you, Dr. Rajesh, for arranging this mega event. We are having it tomorrow. I hope most of you will be attending that one as well. So thank you very much. This function is a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Now may I request C. Badri to introduce today's speakers, Mr. Sanjay and Mr. Mahendra.
Good evening, namaskar, dear members and guests of ICAI Muscat chapter and ICAI Muscat chapter. This is the first event which is co-hosted by two professional chapters which are functioning under CBFS sponsorship. Thank you, Doctor, for guiding us all through for all the 5 chapters who are working under the sponsorship of College of Banking and Financial Studies. It's my great pleasure to introduce speakers of this evening, Mr. Sanjay and Mr. Mahendra. I would like to introduce first Mr. Sanjay, then followed by Mr. Mahendra. Sanjay Gagarani is a FCA, SEMA, UK, CIA, CGMA and DISA from ICAI headquarters. Currently the partner of Premier Banks with a wealth of experience span over 25 years of working across multiple industries. He has worked with MNCs having interest in oil and gas, offshore supply vessels, logistics, hospitality, trading, manufacturing and shipping in India, Maldives and UAE. He has worked with MNCs. Sanjay is also an ex-com member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Dubai chapter. Sanjay has extensive industry experience in financial analysis, risk management, internal audit, international taxation, gap analysis and compliance management. Played a key role in driving digital transformation, leveraging automation and advanced analytics to streamline financial operations and enhance decision making. Developed and implemented cost optimization strategies, resulting in significant savings and improved operational efficiency. Conducted training programs and workshops on financial management and internal control. With this brief introduction of Mr. Sanjay, I would like to move to introduce Mr. Mahendra. Mr. Mahendra Khiani is a chartered accountant, MBA from IIM Kozhikode, postgraduate in data sciences from IIM Kozhikode, ISO 31000 ERM framework, certified with 15 plus years of global Big 4 consulting experience. Currently work as a director with KPMG Lohega, UAE and Oman, leading the next gen GRCS team which is responsible for digital transformation, enablement of GRCS service offerings in the areas of internal audit, ERM, internal controls and automation. His team is responsible for building several proprietary tools and use cases within internal audit future and ERM2 using Power BI, one of the topic, SQL, Python, Power Apps, etc. built several proprietary solutions around internal audit, data analytics, ERM quantification, and automation using machine learning algorithms. Mahendra leads the enterprise risk management practice for KPMG and is also leading in training and development programs for KPMG GRCS. With this brief introduction, I hand over to CA Ashish for the rest of the proceeding. Thank you.
Thank you, CA Badriji, for introduction. Now, may I request Treasurer C. Sangeeta to welcome our guest with flower of bouquet. Thank you.
Good evening, ICAI. Good evening, Isaka. No energy at all. Chai samosa अच्छा नहीं लगा sir. Good evening, ICAI and Isaka. Good evening. That's the spirit. First of all, thank you, Badri sir, for your kind introduction. Thank you very much. First of all, let me extend my gratitude and thanks to both the chairman and his team, Mr. Umesh, Mr. Gaurav, Sangeeta ji, Abhishek, Badri ji, and of course, Ashish. I've been in touch with Ashish for almost I think 2 to 3 months. We have been discussing about how we can introduce Power BI here. We have discussed various ideas and finally it is happening. In fact, we have already planned a session, fixed the date, but we could not secure a venue. But the saying goes like, whatever happens, happens for good. Why? Because for this event, I have secured a much better speaker, CA Mahendra from KPMG. Give a round of applause to CA Mahendra, please. So today's session is, what we will touch base is, one more bonus point for this event is, earlier we were discussing only about Power BI.
Yeah.
Now you know the generative AI is a buzzword, right? Every business houses, professional talk about generative AI. So we have added one more flavor to it. We will cover today generative AI as well. Total session around 70 to 80% will be showcasing you, demonstrating you all the practical use cases. So no more theory, but you have to bear with us for 20-30% to set a context, to explain the major feature of the both the technology. It will directly take you the use cases where you can apply in day-to-day life. So it is applicable to both those who are working with the industry and those who are in practicing. So with that, let's start. So if you have a mobile phone, can you please, okay, let me first ask this question. We all been using Excel like for a decades, more than 2 decades or 3 decades. Can I see a person who can raise the hand? He has never faced any issue with Excel, no error so far. Cell reference, ref, how many have seen? Only one? Most of us seen that, right? Circular references.
Errors do come, but immediately you can find some solutions.
You can find a solution, right? But error is still happening, right? But why Power BI is the only solution for the Excel? Any reason for that?
License dashboards.
Yes. Okay. Oh, we have intelligent audience today. It's going to be challenging biology today for us, huh? Good. Any other further answer? Visualization. Very good.
Understand the normal layman's language, not the programming language.
Perfect. It doesn't require to have a complex drag and drop option. That's what we call it in technology term, right? Drag and drop option, right? Anyone else want to attempt the question? Okay, let's move on. Can you please scan and we have put up a few questions for you. And if you can, Ashish, if you can put up in the WhatsApp group, let's people to give the answer. And I will meantime move to the mentee. Let's see what are the responses coming here. So first question is, are you ready to level up from Excel for your monthly life? Am I supporting only 9 answers? We are around 80 plus people. Okay, you want to see the barcode again? So there are 3 questions. Let me now move on again. Yes, people are very much positive. 18, 22, 23. I need one hardcore Excel. Yeah. Yes, two. I'm looking for that person, the hardcore spreadsheet lover, right? Raviji, around 60 people already replied. You're still asking questions. Menti मिला होगा आपको? Okay, so almost around 57 people are saying they want to learn something on new technology. 58, and the 4 people are saying they're not sure I am comfortable with Excel. So let's, sir, those 4 people or those 4 gentlemen or ladies, maybe after this today's presentation, let's have a discussion, want to understand, want to work with you. Maybe you change your decision after that. Shall we move to next now? How many days in a month do you dedicate to crafting MIS report, PPT presentation after month end closing? Less than 2 days? Less than 4 days? So responses here are the mixed. There are like 30 people, 30 participants still able to finish their MIS less than 4 days. This is remarkable. But still there is a scope for the improvement, and 4 to 7 is 21 participants and 11 participants is more than 7 days. Okay, let's go to the next one. How many of you heard about Power BI? Be honest, huh? So perfect, around 50% says they want to learn and curious about what Power BI is and how it can help your day-to-day life. So let's move to the presentation. There's a whole objective of the today's session. I would not say you will even get a icing of the cake. What we're going to showcase today, it would be very high level, but still you will start thinking how you can start using that Power BI in your day-to-day life and how you can enhance your efficiency level to multi-folds. So that's the whole objective, and if, as we were discussing, the chairman already announced, they will look forward to a 2 days workshop. I'm also leading the technology focus group in ICAI Dubai chapter. In yesterday, we have finished 2 days Power BI workshop with over 60 chartered accountants. We started morning 8 and finished 6 p.m. for both days continuously. And so far, I have conducted 5-6 sessions, and every time I have to close the registration because we can't take more participation. That's the level of the, I can say, interest where we are getting in the UAE. I'm sure once you launch it, there are more and more people will join and would like to learn this new technology. And why it has happened, let's explore that option. So we discussed a lot of benefits people have given, the visualization, drag and drop option, there are various benefits of Power BI. What else? Don't you know data is increasing? Data is increasing, right? In our mobile phone, every day we take the pictures. So we need those sophisticated tools, powerful tools, which can handle this sort of data. I'm not sure about yours, but I have seen the Excel file, once it becomes 2 GB or 3 GB files, उसकी सांसें निकल जाती थी. Very difficult to open, get corrupted, and again we have to do the whole rework again and again. So as per estimate, by 2025 we are going to see the data worldwide 1 zettabyte. I will explain all the terms. 1 zettabyte is equal to 1 billion terabyte. A question comes 1 terabyte. We don't understand what is terabyte. Do you understand GB? So 1024 GB equal to 1 terabyte. So you imagine the kind of data is now getting generated, and so we need a tools which can handle that sort of a data capacity. Do you think the Excel can handle that sort of data? So we need today's Power BI. You never know, tomorrow will be a new tools will come in the market which can access the data, you can analyze and give you the insight. There are few other benefits. I think my fellow friends already mentioned. Complexity of data has also gone up. Let's imagine retail stores, garment stores. They have 10,000, 15,000 stores across worldwide. Now, as a finance professional, we need to analyze each stores, department-wise, brand-wise, category-wise, sales officer-wise. What if we want to analyze, the weather change? winter to cold, there is a shift in the weather pattern, what is the impact on the sales? So there are non-financial information also we need, this is happening, but your existing tool is not sufficient. So complexity of data has gone up in multi-fold. Real-time decision making, all agree, we need this. For certain critical industries, it must. There is no option. It is mandatory. Manufacturing company, the production manager required to monitor his daily progress. No downtime is happening. The movement of temperature of machines goes up after a certain degree, he should get the alert to ensure the production schedule is maintained. The real-time decision making is like it's mandatory for certain industry, and today we all professionals, we would like to take decision based on the latest available information. Correct? Yeah, interactive data visualization. See, Excel graphs are very good, but those spreadsheet, those graphs are like a Charlie Chaplin. They don't narrate any story. With Power BI, I will tell you exactly, after just wait for 15-20 minutes, I will tell you what exactly interactive data visualization means, how it works. Role-based access control. Take a scenario for a small company, even the big large company or MSME, we have seen only one monthly MIS. One CEO pack is prepared, and that will contain the information from all the departments, whether it's the finance department, HR, procurement. They will give their monthly KPI, their performance, and that report circulated to all across the department heads. A commercial department doesn't want to see the QHSE report. He doesn't have any interest. He wants to see his performance. When they use the Power BI, one report can be generated, but based on that generated report, access control can be given. Who doesn't want mobile access? We want our access over all the report on the mobile, right? We want to see the report, dashboard, everything on the mobile. So that's one of the best features we have with Power BI. As we discussed the challenges, time-consuming weekly reporting process, we already saw that people are spending a lot of time. Some people have mentioned about more than 7 days. And challenges goes up in multi-fold when you see the data is coming from different ERPs. They are still big organization. They are unable to kind of have a single ERP platform to capture the data. And even it's not possible for the big company. What happens if we finance the data, at least you can have a uniform. What about the non-financial information? Some company, let's say I was working with DP where they have information about the container management. It cannot be linked to your ERP system for container movement, train movement. There are a lot of other different softwares are there. For that, data is generated, but you need to have a common platform which you can analyze with your financial data. So that's a benefit. These are some challenges I'm telling you about businesses face. Second, we discussed already difficult to extract and consolidate data from various sources. Lack of common view. Still, I've seen the big organization face a difficulty. The sales figure given by sales department X and the figure from the finance department X plus or X minus. It happens. How many have experienced? Many places I've seen that. It happens, right? I'm giving you an example of sales, maybe something else also, right? So, with the Power BI, we can use a common data set across all the departments. So, the entire company will work only on a single data set. So that can be achieved. Absence of, we already discussed about the importance of timely action, how to take the real-time decision, and with the help of Power BI, we need not to wait for the month end or day end shift kitna production hua hai. We need not to wait for that. We can get the online real-time basis what is the production happening. If there is any disturbance in the production plan, production shift, the production manager immediately can take a measure. Either he has to start the preventive maintenance or he has to realign his production schedule. So that's one of the benefits. Hey, sir. Yeah, please. Join. So Power BI, the different part of Power BI, there are 3 different, but this all comes free as of now. The Power BI is free of cost, except if you go to the Pro version. How many have already installed the Power BI on their laptop and seen this is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A couple of people have already installed. You already started using it, I hope, right? Limited purpose. That's good. Journey already started. If you don't go for pro version, it's all comes free. Whether your Office ID, if you're using your Office Microsoft account, you can log it, you can even download the app and you can have this access. This comes with the Microsoft package. And the pro version now costing $10. That if you want to share your report with your boss or some colleagues and all. But that also they are giving a different package nowadays, Microsoft, right? They are like different packages comes with different organizations. So there are three different verticals. Like one is Power BI desktop, Power BI service, and the mobile app is all interconnected. So once the report comes, you can access on a mobile. Same time you can access on laptop. So what's the starting point of Power BI? Let me now explain this chart with the graph. In Power BI is a tool, right? It's a kind of a, okay, let's take an example, it's an advanced version of Excel for a minute, right? We can't compare with Excel, but let's for example. But it's need data, right? Yeah. So how do data will come? So Power BI has more than 50 different connectors. Whether you talk about your SAP, ERP, other database, you name it, all the connectors are there. Even your social media account, Facebook, LinkedIn, you can connect that with your Power BI and can access the data, prepare a dashboard, and submit it for your review for your senior management or your colleagues. So this is the very high level architectures where data, even the Excel format, your TXT, CSV, PDF format, data is getting transformed. The transformation happens within Power BI, and the data warehouse also again within Power BI, and then visualization, dashboard, and scorecard, reporting, and all other aspects you can do. This entire thing happening in within Power BI only. You don't need to go to any other software. Yeah, as I mentioned, there are various connectors. These are the few are listed down here. So before I go on this particular chart, this is one of my favorite chart. How many of you have seen and used a tally in their life? Most of us. See, my personal favorite tally is the drill down option. From balance sheet, you can go to transaction level. Imagine for your organization, from the sales figure, you would like to go to transaction level. How amazing it would be with the help of a single chart. That's what I'm giving you. This is the sample chart which gives you the payroll cost for across the globe for one of the company, where the Australia is being the highest at $2.6 million, being around 24%. Now, if you want to get the breakdown of this, the sales department, product department, the marketing department, analytical development. So again, we can get, if you want to get in the even sales department, further drill it down. So we know the senior sales officer comprising around 86%, then there are other department managers, analysts, sales team is there. How amazing it is. The one single chart, we are getting it. Think about the retail stores, you're getting a gross sales, then you're categorizing country-wise, product-wise, brand-wise, sales officer-wise, you name it, you can do it. And depending on the, as I mentioned, the role-based, you can give the access to them. Visualization हो रहा है, is happening. Yeah, you have a question there?
Drill down pie flow is a part of Power BI or
So there are various charts which is other than the Microsoft which you can buy it.
so these
But-
are to be bought?
But it's very cheap. Some are free or freely also available.
This data has to be arranged before, because
Exactly.
in many cases, data is there in a crude form, and to get to the
This is a one-time exercise, sir. Yeah, you're right,
you have to
sir.
do that.
That's a one-time exercise. Yeah, that's a one-time exercise. First, you need to design your desktop, your reporting, right? Once it is set, then automatically it will flow. So after that, you
So
can
you
then,
have to do that.
yes, on one time you will do that, right? You have to design your dashboard, right? First time.
If continuously the data are coming in a particular format,
It will do. Transformation will happen. Automatically, you can do transformation also, if possible. Yeah.
it's possible.
Possible. Yeah. Okay, let me take you through the one other. Okay, this is just a simple dashboard. It's not very complicated one, wherein you can see the revenue is coming. I think. Okay, let me. take it through the entire thing. So operational revenues around $9.7 million, gross margin 4 million, 42% margin. And there are 5 different supply lines and there are 3 different sales channels: retail, warehouse, and online. Suppose you have a department head for the retail, he would like to see only retail sales, but you have one chart. So what are the simple thing what you can do is the sales chain, you can just click it on the retail, the entire chart for the across the row has changed. And then if you would like to have like particular, or if you want to have categorized, okay, let me just discuss about the King Coffee. So all the information is there about King Coffee. And let's discuss about if you want to discover retail King Coffee. That's what I'm saying. There are a lot of equation you can make it with the one single chart, one single data set. You need not to prepare the separate different graph chart, which we have been doing it, right? A different team, different graphs, we have been.
If the data is arranged in a particular way, that you can reach the highest level to the lowest level.
That previous chart I've shown you
Excel
that.
you can do it.
Yes.
But yes, you have to design a lot of things.
Yeah.
Here probably it is structured to.
You're right, sir. What happening? Everyone we are doing same task, right? If I have the same thing, I need to prepare different charts. I need to prepare one chart for retail, one for the warehouse, wholesale, one for the online channel, then or department wise. Here I am creating a dashboard. I created one time. Then if I do now give the access, let's say you are heading the retail division. So I will give you the access retail so you can see your data.
Correct. You can use filters.
Then you can access, you can further go drill it down. I'm just giving very high level here, so you can do that. Yes, the one-time exercise required because for anything, right? If you want to design your own MIS, you have to do the one-time exercise. The same thing works here as well. I think I will show you one more interesting thing also, simulator. See, sometimes what happens is we prepare a lot of project report, right? And we are sitting with the CFO or senior management and it talks about, okay, what if we change the percentage with this much, what will be the impact on revenue and cost and profitability? I know we can do in Excel with the if formula and all, but if formula works only in the certain parameter, we have to again type in. So we can prepare dashboard in such a manner, he himself can do that. We can submit to him. So here what we're presenting it, if we can change the quantity of item, let's say, if I change the item price about 10%, that earlier around $9.68 million, so 968 is your top line. It will have direct impact, it will flow to your bottom line because there is no cost involved. We are increasing the price here.
It should be user driven rather than one person trying to do and disseminate information.
Yes.
If it is user driven, then as you said, anybody can.
Anybody can do it. And just a drag and drop option, sir. I mean, I'm sure all the finance professionals, you can just simply with the help of, I know there are some technical challenges maybe there initially, but it can be overcome with the help of technician or with the help of a data scientist. I'm just giving you the very, so these are nothing, sir. I'm telling you that these are very, I would say very simple dashboard. There are a lot of complicated dashboards are available and being used by various corporations now. But there are various companies now, they have inbuilt dashboard within their ERP system as well.
No, I find it very, in this advanced world, if you talk to your ERP guy to change the reports, they struggle a lot. You want a different kind of report.
Yeah.
You
SQL.
should be able to develop it, you should be able to try, but they will give a fixed form of report, and if you ask them to do it, any change, they will struggle. So sometimes you feel that you import from ERP and do a lot of things. See, the data is not only, what you get in ERP is past, mostly, it happens. But you have to integrate a lot of things with your future information to make it meaningful.
True.
So sometimes, for us only Excel is available. So
No, this is available, sir.
huh?
This is available.
Okay, knowledge is not there.
No, definitely we need urgent need for a Power BI workshop here. I'm sure there will be learning curve. if I talk about the Power BI, it's just like a walk in the park. It's not the case, but it's not that tough also. Even if you don't learn, at least you know these are the possibilities. At least you can tell the young generation, your teammates, I need this. I need a Power BI implementation. I want to see this happening. At least your thinking process will start. See, last 2 days Power BI workshop, we have not promised the members that you will become expert. No, that was not the objective.
So
Is there anyone here who
there
thinks
is awareness, there should be awareness about something available, and you start using it, then only you
Correct.
can go in depth.
Yeah. Is there anyone available in the room who can say, I know the Excel, all the formulas? No one can guarantee, right? Same works here as well.
Excel is like our brain, we use only 5% of it.
Pardon?
Excel is like our brain, we use only 4 or 5% of it.
Yes. See, वो कहते हैं ना unlearn करना और नई चीज को unlearn करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है सर, बहुत मुश्किल है. So that's the thing, right? We need to start doing it. And the moment you start doing it, I'm not telling 100% technically you have to go. You can hire a consultant or you can hire your teammate who is a Power BI expert, and you will be glad to see the result. That I can guarantee you. And the amount you're going to spend it, you will return it like multi-fold in within an 8-year time. Okay? See now in this first report, let's say here. Now here, if we inbuilt a budget, previous year data, we need not to do this monthly exercise again and again, right? Once it is there, okay, actually you need to refresh the actual data, the results are here. See the amount of time we are going to the manual intervention, first of all, manual intervention will reduce, and the amount of time we are saving for our finance professionals, your teammates, so they can work on the more productive work, rather than spending 7 days or 10 days for monthly report or CEO pack, CFO pack, this, that. All this can be avoided. And this is going to be future. I mean, for our down the line next 5 years, I think it will be more powerful or more used in the industry or by the professionals. You imagine the Excel when we started, maybe there are very hardly few users, but same thing is going to happen with Power BI. So these are the use cases.
It's something like you have a data and you get a graph.
Yeah.
Same, it is similar to that.
Yeah, much more than that.
Okay.
Much more than that.
Because it can connect to the sources directly. So, like what do you do in MIS? Every month you repeat the same process, right? What is different over here is that you designed it one time, okay? It can directly connect to a system, or what you said, I want more cuts, right? So you can download it and rest everything would get automated. So it's a Power BI is called a self-service BI. It's one of the only tool which is called a self-service BI. What it means, self-service means it's self-sufficient, like almost indigenous. It can connect to a system. Like typically you write queries in tools like SQL and all. You can write queries also over here. You can do visualization also here. So it's like almost everything in itself, but it also has a limitation. You can't run it for extremely heavy data files. Okay, but for most of the use cases, you are able to do it, or with the help of another system, if the data file runs in TBs, then you can utilize it. So, but that's where it is very different than Excel. But probably when I started,
Similar to macros recording.
so see Excel, I'm not sure if all of you have used these 3 features of Excel. There was a Power Pivot, right? Then there is Power Query, and then there was, for reporting, there used to be Power Report or something, okay? What Microsoft did was brought in Power Query, got in Power Pivot, and got in Power Report, combined all 3 of these features. This is what Power BI is. Because Power Query allows you to write scripts which would run multiple times, right? Power Pivot allows you to model the data, and then Power Reporting allows you to build visualizations. So now we are talking about 3 plugins which are brought together, and with additional, like Sanjay ji was showing, the additional connectors. So we are talking about more than 100 connectors.
Thank you, madam. I think we can keep the detailed question later. One-to-one we can take it also in the interest of time because we have to catch the flight as well. No, I'm not finished yet. I will come back. Yes, sir. Anything?
Applause for a comment.
Pardon? Sorry, sir. No, go ahead, please.
Hey, applause for a comment.
Thank you very much. Okay, so question here is, I think I will not showcase again the more practical. Now the exciting time again, we have some practical use cases by Mahendra ji. He will showcase the Power BI uses in the risk assessment, internal audit. And so I will hand over the gentleman. He has just finished one session with the IAA UAE chapter 2 days back, and where he got a lot of recommendation, lot of praise about his presentation. And he was here in Muscat as well as 6 months back, right? You were one of the prominent speaker about the data analytics and the. So let's welcome the CA Mahendra with a good round of applause.
Thank you so much, Sanjay ji, and thank you everyone for coming over for this session. Special thanks to the ICAI Muscat chapter as well as ESCA. Generally, I like to do sessions more interactive. So based on some of the questions, I actually have to state some of the use cases that I would showcase you. I'll cover something that was asked. Can it be futuristic? Can we play around with the budgeting? Since we work on a lot of live use cases, I'll cover that as well. Starting off with about me, I'm Mahendra, a director with over 15 years of experience. I lead KPMG's Next Gen GRCS team. This team is basically responsible for digital enablement of various service offerings around internal audit, enterprise risk management, internal controls, so on and so forth. So basically it's more kind of our, you can call it a digital incubation center, where we see what are the new technologies coming in and how they can change the face of internal audit or ERM. And that's what we would cover over here today. I would primarily cover 3 things. A, what are the use cases in internal audit? B, what are the use cases in enterprise risk management? Both the fields very relevant to CA professionals. And 2 other things which I had not planned. One is, like Sanjay ji was mentioning 6 months back, I had done a Power BI workshop for ICAI Dubai chapter. I will showcase what we had built in those 2 days. So you get a sense of like what is the art of possible we are talking about, right? Because what I will showcase within internal audit and ERM, that would definitely wow you, but it will take a lot of effort. But what can be achieved in 2 days, we will see that. And then secondly, I realized quite a bit of people over here are also finance professionals. So I will cover a use case around budgeting as well. And what we did at ICAI Dubai chapter was more around sales and finance MIS, so that would also be very relevant to you guys. Right? So beyond that also, any questions, do feel free to come back, and then eventually we will move to generative AI and what is this buzzword. So starting off with, I'll not spend much time in slides, this is the only slide you would see, and then we will go straight to the use cases. Now, typically what is our internal audit journey? We start off with our annual audit planning exercise, right? Where typically how you will build an internal audit plan. You would meet all the stakeholders, identify the audit universe. These are my audit areas. What can go wrong, so what are the risks? You will build a risk register, residual risk rating based on either you will add controls based on your understanding of controls or probably test one control. And this is how you get the residual risk profile. And then I presume in Muscat as well, you will follow the IPPF standard. So all the audit areas with high probability, you will audit in 12 to 18 months, medium probability 18 to 36 months, medium risk, and low risk within 3 years, right? So that's what typically audit plan is built. But how we can use technology to change it into a more dynamic risk assessment, right? Now, there are two things which can be done. Now, what if I tell you the audit test that you perform during audit, like let's say in case of procurement process, or let's say in case of finance process, right? What are the mismatches between invoice and debit note? Very typical if somebody is from retail over here, this is a very typical risk. Or within procurement, what are the details, bank account details appearing in employee master as well as the vendor master, right? So these are typical audit tests you perform. Now what if these audit tests are automated and it can be one additional source of input for your internal audit risk assessment? How that can help is, let's say this was a multi-stream organization, okay, and they could see which entities have specific risks. So which are the what are the number of high risks in each of these entities? So if you are a big corporate, you can focus on which entity to audit. Then within that, what are the risk areas? Specific risk areas. So this is also what these days is being called as agile audit, right? So that can be one thing. Or let's say, how about we CS are very good in financial analysis, right? How about we add a pinch of financial analysis within your risk assessment exercise? What I mean is, you can at a sector level, you can define what are the ratios, look at on a quarterly basis as and when financials keep on getting updated, which are the entities at high risk and which areas within that. Let's say for example, if a particular entity, in this use case when I show you in detail, there were concentration ratios defined, which meant that which entity is contributing to my highest profit, or let's say highest loans, or highest debtors, so on and so forth. So that entity gets a higher rating. Then within that, what are problems? So if I have a particular entity where I'm making an overall profit of, or overall revenues of 300, but my debtors is 250, which is causing my working capital cycle to increase, I know I need to initiate the AR audit. So along with the traditional risk assessment, you can add these data analytics layers to come up with a internal audit plan which is much more holistic. Okay. Then the next step is how we audit, which is, I think this has been like I said, I have been in internal audit profession for now 15 years. Like right from the day go, CSCM has been there. The tools have kept on changing. So this is almost pretty much like CSCM. So Power BI can be utilized for CSCM as well. Now this particular use case does not just use Power BI because of the quantum of data, it connects to other tools as well, which we will discuss in detail. But the final element, like as an internal auditor, how we communicate with our stakeholders, it is through internal audit report, which is by default most of the time a static report, either a Word document or a PowerPoint. Now what I am going to showcase you how an internal audit report on Power BI would look like, right? So this is the entire journey typically of an internal audit cycle, and how digitization can touch each of those aspects. So with that, this was the theory when it came to internal audit. I will go to the practical use cases. Same way we will come back to ERM, talk about the use cases, go back, see, look at the live use cases, and then I will go to the finance use cases as well. So with that, let me change my screen and go to the tool itself. So starting off with the first tool, which was financial analysis and insights. So, one second, let me fix the screen. Like I spoke about, I'll not go through all the tools, but I'll give you a sense of the unique ones and the unique features in each. So when it comes to financial analysis, we CS just are crazy about numbers, right? Now in this entity, what we did was we started building the logics of what are the ratios that would get monitored for the organization. So like I was telling, concentration ratio. So if a particular entity is contributing to higher revenue profit or it has a larger share of assets, it can have a higher concentration ratio. Then performance in terms of profitability, GP, NP, return on equity, working capital ratios, other ratios, right? And then risk intervals were defined for like what would comprise a high risk, what would comprise a low risk, okay? Once we had done that, we converted that to a full-fledged dashboard, which is fully automated, by the way. It's not that every quarter you are doing the same thing. And fully automated to the extent that if your systems, because you don't close your books immediately, right? On a quarterly basis, in an app, you can just add those detailed numbers and you will have a live dashboard running around it. So these are the various sectors. It gives sector-wise risks and sector-wise risk profile and score. So let's say, for example, in this case, sector 5 has the highest risk profile. This is the revenue. This is the concentration, equity concentration, net profit concentration, so on and so forth. So now if I want to look at in detail what is happening in sector 5, I can filter sector 5, I can filter any of the sectors, but if I see sector 5, in this company 7 has the most major problems when it comes to profits, when it comes to inventory, or when it comes to gross profit, right? Now, if I want to get into the details of it, okay, I will go to sector 5 and I wanted to see company 7, right? I click on company 7, you can get, okay, this is the revenue, this is the gross profit, it's making severe net losses, inventory is almost equal to its annual revenue, debtors are 10 times its revenue. So you know what to focus on, right? Similarly, you can select any other high risk entity. So it gives a very good perspective of how you would go and audit, because and that's what is called risk-based audit, right? You can't just go randomly pick up 25 samples and then hope for the best. You will have to use your brains, which is we CS are extremely good in designing the risk and then merge it with technology and come up with a risk plan which is extremely focused, right? So this was one use case when it comes to financial reporting and building the internal audit plan. Now the second is continuous audit, continuous monitoring. I'm sure everybody have seen several tools on CACL, okay? What can be done differently? Like you can see, it's a Power BI screen, right? I'm sure many of you would have seen RSA Arches, you would have seen IBM Open Pages. I work on Open Pages, ServiceNow. None of them can build a screen like this, okay? And it's not just about, very early in my career, I was told it's not about just value creation, it is also about value communication, okay? You may be doing very good job, but you need to communicate that job in the best possible manner. And this is what Power BI can do. And this looks like a PowerPoint presentation, but this is a Power BI front screen of the data analytics layer. So if I go to procurement process, okay, it breaks down it into overview, which we as an internal auditor always start with. Then it has all the sub-processes. So what does overview would give? Okay. Overview gives like what is my average cycle time between PR to PO conversion, PO to GRN, GRN to invoice. Then what is the value of purchase orders that were raised during the audit period? What were the number of POs, number of PRs? If I want to see the month-wise trend, if I want to filter it at a month level, I click on it and you would see everything gets filtered at a month level. I'll unfilter it. If I want to see not top 3 vendors, I want to see top 5 vendors. I click on it. It would show me my top 5 vendors geographically where they are located, right? I can also see, okay, I want to just look at material procurement. I click on it, I'll get material procurement. I want to see where are these iron oxide pallets bought from. If I click on it, it will say the location, the vendor, which month, so on and so forth. So very good starting point for an audit. Then you can go to specific area by area. So this is the screen of a vendor master, gaps. So you can identify duplicate vendor codes based on, let's say, bank details, VAT registration details. I want to see these 34 vendors. I can drill through, get to that. I can export it as an Excel as well. But why should I export it as an Excel? If it's a tool, it should do everything, right? Why can't I directly email it from here? So that also I can do. I can go to the summary KPIs, which gives me what are these duplicate duplicate vendor codes based on let's say identical VAT registration detail. I click on it. Okay, I can configure who, either the process owner or my audit manager who is responsible for this audit. I'll just click on this send email alert. Okay, I clicked on it. Now I'll go to my mailbox. You would see a mail would come. Let me go to my mailbox, and a mail would be ready over here, which would directly show me, okay, this is the exceptions. Review these exceptions on priority. So it should come, yeah, over here. Now intentionally I had configured my email ID just to demo it over here, but obviously it can link up to anyone, right? So coming back to this is how even the audit tests can get automated. So we are focusing more on the real exception, and many of the things in any of the steps that should be repeated can be automated, right? Now, one disclaimer, you would see there are hundreds and hundreds of audit tests over here. Like I said, Power BI is capable of doing this, but just because it is capable of doing this does not mean we should do it over here. There are more efficient tools, but what it can be definitely used for is the front-end visualization, because that none of the other tools can do it so beautifully. But what I wanted to show you the most was this internal audit report. Because typically you will not do an internal audit report in the form of a Power BI dashboard. But this is what we have done over here. So you can see these are the sub-processes within the report. I can go to vendor management, right? Over here, the right hand side of the panel is very similar to any of the internal audit report. It would have your observation, root cause, impact, recommendation, action plans. You can and on the left side you have all the charts. I can click on any of the charts, let's say these 34 bank details ones. Now I want to see how many payments were made to these 34 duplicate vendor codes which had common bank details. I just click on it. It would give me what are the clear payments, what are the open invoices against the same, what is the amount, and period wise details against the same, right? I can get into the detail of this because, like Sanjay ji was saying a while back, right? We are interested in getting to the details, and that's what we are as CS. So I can go to the details. It would go to the level of transaction, because eventually if you have fed the data from ground up, you can summarize it to the level you want, but you can also drill it to the level you want, right? And if I just move to the next one, employees linked to vendor master, you would see this updated, these charts also got updated. I can go to the third observation as well. Again, everything gets updated. So this is, so in probably past 10 to 15 minutes, we saw almost how this can be applied right from audit planning to how we would execute the audit to even how we would report the audit. So these were some of the use cases within the domain of internal audit. Next, I would go same way to risk management. When I go to risk management, couple of use cases you will find very simple, pure vanilla Power BI, but in the end when I reach, I will also touch upon some of the use cases which are very hardcore machine learning kind of tools, right? So let me go back to the slides once again. Okay. Okay, so we were here. Now, this is similarly audit committee also I had built up, like how we can summarize the audit committee, how follow-up reports can be automated. This was another use case that we have worked with one of the clients where they don't really do any follow-up reports. They just automatically, based on the due date, it goes to the users, they update the status and it moves on. Okay. Now, coming to the use cases within enterprise risk management, I'm not sure how many of you have done ERMs, not a very, not something which is very popular within CS, but still ERM is one of the functions where CS do work extensively. Typically, ERM again has three-part journey similar to internal audit. The first part is setting the foundations. So I'll set the context, basically enterprise risk. If you have to define the risk, be it as per the various frameworks, be it COSO or ISO, risk is defined as an event which may prevent an organization from achieving objectives. Okay. As simple as that. Any event which may prevent an organization from achieving its objectives. And the whole exercise of enterprise risk management is to identify those events, let's say if it's a profit-making entity, which may prevent it from achieving profit or revenue objective. If it's a non-profit-making organization, public welfare is its key. Identify those events which may prevent it from achieving those objectives, right? So this is enterprise risk. And what we do typically in enterprise risk is three stages. The first stage is the build, where we create a framework or we define the appetite. Like what is the maximum risk I'm willing to take in achievement of my objective. So let's say profit making is your objective, what is the maximum deviation you are accepting, what is maximum deviation which is acceptable to you, which may still not affect you, prevent you from achieving objectives. Then operate is where you are actually identifying those risks and discussing them. And then transform is basically where you are combining all those risks and seeing how my financial would get reforecasted based on all this. Okay. So the first tool is, this again is on BI, like once you have built the risk appetite, no point of just having it till the time you are able to assess how these risks are impacting which of my KPIs, okay, and that's what we do using Power BI. The second part is presenting the risk management dashboard. So if you would have seen enterprise risk results, typically you will just have top 10 risks either on an Excel or a PowerPoint, how it can be depicted on a Power BI dashboard. And then finally there is like predictive analytics or early warning systems. So broadly these are the three use cases we would discuss. So let me get started with the first one. So this is typically how you can showcase your risk appetite. So you have your revenues, which is your top line. You have EBITDA, which is your profitability. You have your cash flows, and then you have non-financial KPIs, which can either affect your top line, okay, or it can affect your bottom line, basically profitability, right? So what you can see in the single screen, and then there are certain legends. So these legends depict the colors, the different blues depict what is my strategic KPI. Each of the strategic KPI will boil down to certain CXOs or head of departments, and then it boils down to a process level or department level KPI. And then you are seeing those green, yellow, orange, amber, red colors. this means how much the situation is under control. So using Power BI, what you can see is on a single screen, right? You are able to see which of the KPIs I am doing well, okay? Which of the KPIs, even if at a L1 level I am doing well, which of the businesses within L2 level are not doing good, okay? So imagine from the perspective of Chief Risk Officer or a Chief Executive or Chief Strategy Officer, in a single screen, he or she is able to analyze the entire company in details. And when I want to get into detail, let's say I want to see within EBITDA or net income how things are going. So I click on it. It gives me a sense, okay, net income, EBITDA is going as per budget, okay, but my channel 1, channel 2 performance is not good, okay, total cost ratios is problem in channel 1, how my expenses are getting managed, how is my investment income coming in, and then this gives also a ratios of like quarter on quarter how the performance is changing. And if certain things are not improving, I can drill through it to understand why we are not able to achieve that objective, and secondly what we are doing to achieve that objective. And when you run it on a month-on-month basis, you would realize that if still you are not able to achieve objectives, then the action plans that you are taking are wrong, or the KPIs defined itself were wrong, right? So it gives a very holistic, very quantitative view of things rather than doing enterprise risk at a very high level. So this is the build stage, which is like how you would monitor appetite. Now comes how you showcase the results. So one model I had shown you was within internal audit. Same can go within ERM as well. So typically ERM, like if you see the results of enterprise, this is how the first screen looks like. What are the total risks? What are the risks within my tolerance limits? Now tolerance limits are basically which are the risks within my appetite, and beyond tolerance limits which are the risks beyond my appetite. Category of the risks, what is the treatment strategy, status, risk heat map. Now let's say at the audit committee, if they ask, okay, tell me only about the high risks. You click on this 13, you would see everything gets updated which are those risks. Now if they say, okay, get into the details of this third risk, you can go to right click and you are able to see what is the risk category, what is detailed description, why you believe that it is a risk, and then what are the key controls, what are the treatment plan, who is the owner of this risk. So you can literally on a click of a button in an audit committee go from a 5,000 feet view to a drill through view at the most granular level, right? So this is the second part with an enterprise risk. The third thing is, which is early warning signals. Now this is although it is called as enterprise risk, it typically is it's a financial resilience, which means like organize in case of like COVID kind of an event happens, how resilient is the organization or how risk would impact its profit. So this is what can also be achieved using Power BI. So I will not get into details of it because it's a very comprehensive exercise, but I'll still say. So this use case is talking about a petrol distribution or a petrol, it has petrol stations or fuel stations. It is expanding into Saudi, and then they wanted to assess whether the Saudi operations would be profitable or not. So early warning signals was built to forecast how risks would impact this company's Saudi operations. So typically what the approach was in a quick nutshell, these were the 7 stages. So we started off with strategic risk assessment, which meant look at Saudi market, understand what are the risks, and when Sanjay shows you generative AI, typically we will also showcase a tool which can scan through various websites, portals and identify the risks. Then like if a risk is to occur, what are the growth levers getting impacted? So imagine the financials of a fuel distribution company. You have number of operational fuel stations, what price you are selling the fuel at, what are the liters of fuel that you are selling. So what will it impact? Will it impact the amount of sales? Will it impact the rate at which you are selling? And then quantify using Monte Carlo, create data models, and then finally build a risk-adjusted financial model, right? So this is, and then finally comes the mitigation strategy. So these are the 4 screens in that. Integrated risk view, I'll show you integrated risk view. It basically shows all the potential risks, so it is a network risk map. So if I click on income disruption, it can show which are the risks which would impact the income. If I click on expenses, it can show what are the risks which will impact the costs. And then you have COVID kind of a black swan event. And then there is a strategic risk assessment page which allows you to say, okay, why you believe this is a risk, okay? And then if you keep on going down, it just talks about all the details in terms of how much EVs are getting used in Saudi. And then you can select the scenarios. Let's say if you want to see, okay, we may grow our revenue per output at around 2.79%, so I can select that scenario, okay. This continues for all the risks, and what you would see at the end is your 5 years reforecasted financials. So it shows like, these are the light green ones are the budgeted numbers, and dark blue are the reforecasted numbers. So like very, very comprehensive. So this was another example within ERM. I think I'll pause here because I think we went to a little too complex, starting from very simple. But now I'll come back to a area which is like easily doable. So we were doing a workshop in October, okay, with ICAI Dubai chapter, and now I want to show you what we built in those 2 days. So that is basically, like I said, the art of possible. So this is the result of the ICAI weekend masterclass that we did, and this was the sales insights dashboard that we built in 2 days. So you can go to the details. You can see the gross sales, discount, net sales. It gives month-wise number. It has very smart analytics. If I hover on it, it would show the gross sales for that month with average discount, net sales, what was it, everything, and it gets updated on its own. And then you can get into sales versus target details. You can get into detail and have a transaction-wise sales report. We had built a AI element in terms of why there is profit or no profit. Like in this case, let's say if gross margin is lower, I can assess what is causing the gross margin to be lower by just click of a button, show me low value. So this again is Power BI. It will show you which month is causing low value. And then we had a bot, chat bot, which is the new fancy thing. So we had created this chat bot, and we can ask it like top businesses by net sales. It would give you answer you right away with your data. And it has few more analytical panels. Like again the same one, I can send an email right from here. And it has a simulator as well. Like if I give a discount of 5%, which may lead to 7% or 15% extra sales, is it a profitable decision for me or not, right? So this was on the data analytics. I'll probably pause over here before I move to generative AI. But I'll pause here in case you guys have any questions, or I can move to, yeah.
Mainly in investment and finance industry, they use a similar visualization platform called Tableau.
Yeah.
If you can give some idea like how different it is from this, which one is more powerful in terms of presentation and visualization.
Sure. So Tableau is largely a visualization platform. So in terms of visuals, I think Tableau would be 80-90% same as Power BI. Okay. But when it comes to visualization, where it falls down is it does not, like I was explaining, what is Power BI? It's 3. It is your Power Query, it is your Power Pivot, and your reporting. Okay. So when it comes to reporting layer, I don't think so
Tableau and Power BI has much of a difference. Power BI would have just slight edge, but not significant. But where Tableau will significantly fall down is in terms of its modeling capabilities, and like you would see over here, there were a lot of those AI elements. I was clicking on it and it was showing why is my gross margin lower. That is a lot to do with its analytical capabilities. Or I can build even a chatbot inside a Power BI dashboard. That is not possible in Tableau. So when it comes to analytics, it's that is where it will be just half or less than half of the efficiency, because it's not an analytical tool. It's just a visualization, wherein Power BI is your visualization and analytics tool.
Another question is just for having this analytics and everything. Do I need to run it only on Power BI platform, or I can run it even on a normal web page as well?
So you can launch Power BI on a web page, but for security purposes, your data, because the moment you put it on a web page, your data can be seen by the whole world. Okay, so that's not recommended. Technically, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Technically, safely, is it possible? Yes, it is possible, because then you'll have to whitelist the IP, so only the person who is supposed to see can see it, but it will complicate a lot. I can say that, but theoretically and technically it is possible, and it is being used also, but not a very ideal solution to put your dashboards on a web page, unless it does not have a confidential data. Okay, now you are combining two different things. Okay, I'll tell you what is a role-based access. Okay, you have seen an Excel sheet, right? There are rows in an Excel sheet. Now, Power BI's access rights works on something, they call it as row level security. Okay. Now, let's say if there is a sales report which belongs to 3 departments. If you are a CEO, you want access to all 3 departments. If you are Department A, ideally you should have access to only Department A. If you are Department B, only to Department B. So, in Power BI, we define the rules at a row level. So, dashboard output would look the same. Okay. So, let's say, let me show an example over here. Let's say if you are Department A, for you all the charts would be the same, but the numbers would be different, because you are seeing only Department A data. If you are Department B, again numbers are different, but if you are CEO, you are seeing the whole picture. So that's called role-based access in Power BI. Now, that question was very different. That was around hosting.